Welcome to my channel, Unleash Your English, my friends. Tell me honestly, have you ever stayed silent because you were afraid to speak English? You wanted to talk, but the words just disappeared. You felt nervous, embarrassed, and unsure of yourself. You see others speaking so easily and you wonder, why can't I do that too? You're not alone. Millions of learners feel the same way. But what if I told you that confidence in English is not something you're born with? It's something you can build, step by step, every single day, and in this video I'll show you how. You'll discover simple, powerful habits that can turn your fear into fluency. So stay with me till the end, because by the time this video finishes, you'll see that speaking English confidently is not a dream. It's your next reality. Chapter 1. The real reason you feel nervous. Many people feel nervous when they try to speak English. Their heart beats faster. Their hands feel cold. The words they studied for months suddenly disappear. You know them, you memorize them. But when it's time to speak, your mind becomes empty. This moment feels terrible, doesn't it? You start thinking, maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe English is not for me. But that's not true. You're not nervous because you're weak. You're nervous because you care. You want to speak well. You want to be understood. You want to feel proud of your words, and that desire, that pressure, makes you afraid to fail. The truth is, confidence in English has very little to do with grammar or vocabulary. It's not about how many words you know. It's about how much you believe in the words you already have. Most learners don't realize this. They think confidence will come one day when their English becomes perfect, but that day never arrives. Because confidence doesn't wait for perfection. Confidence grows while you're still learning. It grows when you try, when you make mistakes, and when you keep going. Think about children. When they learn to speak, they make hundreds of mistakes every single day. They don't stop and think, what if someone laughs at me? They just speak. They repeat. They play with language, and slowly they improve. Adults forget this simple truth. You want to sound perfect before you start. You want to speak like native speakers, but you forget that they also learned word by word, mistake by mistake. The difference is not in ability. The difference is in courage. Let me tell you something powerful. Fear will not disappear when your English becomes perfect. It disappears when you start accepting that mistakes are part of the process. When you change your goal from speaking perfectly to speaking bravely, your entire world changes. Suddenly, you don't feel embarrassed. You feel alive. Every word becomes a small victory. Every sentence becomes a step forward. Every conversation becomes a chance to grow. You feel nervous because you think people are judging you. But most people are not even thinking about your mistakes. They're listening to your message. They're interested in your story. You're the only one judging yourself too hard. You're your biggest critic. It's time to become your biggest supporter. When you speak English, don't think I must be perfect. Think I want to connect. Because English is not a test, it's a bridge between hearts and minds. Remember the first time you tried to ride a bicycle? You were shaking. You fell. You felt embarrassed. But after some time, something changed. You stopped falling. You stopped fearing. You started riding. Now you don't even think about balance anymore. Confidence in English works the same way. At first, it feels strange. You might make mistakes, but the more you speak, the easier it becomes. One day, you'll speak without fear, and you'll wonder why you ever worried so much. Confidence is not a magical feeling that appears one morning. It's built through small actions. Speaking one word louder than yesterday, trying one new sentence, talking to one new person. Each small step adds a brick to your wall of confidence. And soon, you'll stand tall behind that wall. You'll look back and realize that fear was just a teacher wearing a scary mask. So don't wait for the perfect time to start. The perfect time is now. The only way to lose fear is to walk through it. Say your first sentence. Even if your voice shakes, say it anyway. Every time you do, your fear becomes smaller and your power becomes greater. The real reason you feel nervous is not because you can't speak English. It's because you've never allowed yourself to speak freely. But that changes today. Because from this moment, you're not just a learner, you're a fighter. And fighters don't wait to feel ready. They start, they stumble, they rise again. That's how confidence is born. And one day soon, when you speak in English with a smile, you'll remember this moment. You'll realize that your fear was never the enemy, it was the beginning of your strength. Chapter 2. Confidence starts in your mind. Before you speak English with your mouth, you speak it with your mind. Every thought you have becomes a message to your brain. If you keep saying, "I can't speak English," your brain believes it. If you say, "I always make mistakes," your brain accepts it as true. But when you say, "I'm learning," your brain starts to support you. It gives you the power to keep going. Confidence doesn't begin in your words, it begins in your thoughts. The way you talk to yourself decides how far you go. Every learner wants to speak fluently. They want to sound natural, to express ideas clearly, to speak without fear. But before that can happen, something deeper must change. You must believe that you are capable of learning. You must believe that you can improve. You must believe that your English is not bad, it's just growing. Many people never reach confidence because they lose this belief too early. They stop believing in themselves before they even begin to speak freely. Think about this. You might have studied hundreds of grammar rules. You might know thousands of words. But if your mind keeps telling you that you're not good enough, you will still feel small. Your body listens to your thoughts. If your thoughts are negative, your body becomes nervous. Your heart beats fast. You forget everything you know. But when you fill your mind with positive thoughts, your body relaxes. Your brain becomes your friend, not your enemy. So, start speaking to yourself with kindness. Replace "I can't" with "I can try." Replace "I'm not ready" with "I'm improving." Replace "I'm bad at English" with "I'm getting better every day." These small sentences might sound simple, but they are powerful. They reprogram your mind. They build the foundation of confidence that no one can take away from you. Confidence is not about showing off. It's not about being perfect. It's about trusting yourself. It's about believing that you can handle the situation even if you don't know every word. When you change the way you think, you change the way you speak. You no longer wait for the perfect moment, you create it. You no longer hide your voice, you share it. Let's be honest, everyone feels scared in the beginning. Even native speakers make mistakes. Even teachers sometimes forget words. So why should you be ashamed of learning? Every expert was once a beginner. Every confident speaker was once silent. The difference is not in talent, it's in mindset. Confident people don't wait for fear to disappear. They move forward with fear and still speak. That is real strength. You can start building this strength today. Each time you speak English, no matter how short the sentence, remind yourself that you are learning. Don't punish yourself for mistakes. Celebrate them. Every mistake is a sign that your brain is trying. Every word you say adds a new layer to your confidence. If you keep thinking "I'm growing," you will. Confidence is a choice. It's not something that happens to lucky people. It's something you create every time you speak, listen, and think in English. Stop saying "I'm not confident." Start saying "I'm becoming confident." Those words may feel small, but they have the power to change everything. When your mind believes in you, your words become stronger. When your thoughts are full of belief, your voice carries that energy. People will feel it when you speak. They will see the light in your eyes, not the fear in your heart. That's what true confidence looks like. So from now on, treat your thoughts like seeds. If you plant doubt, fear will grow. But if you plant belief, confidence will rise like the sun. Feed your mind with positive thoughts every day. Remind yourself that English is your friend, not your enemy. You are not behind anyone. You are simply on your own journey. And when your mind becomes strong, your words will follow. Confidence begins inside you, quietly, like a small flame. Protect it, feed it, believe in it. Because once your mind is confident, your English will start to shine everywhere you go. Chapter 3. Practice makes the fear smaller. Every time you practice speaking English, your fear becomes a little smaller. It doesn't disappear in one day, but it starts to lose its power. At first, your voice may shake. You might forget words. You might even feel embarrassed. But every time you try again, you become stronger. Fear hates action. When you take action, fear slowly fades away. That's how confidence grows. It doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. Many people wait to feel confident before they start practicing. They think, when I'm ready, I'll speak. But that's not how confidence works. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes after it. You speak first, and then the confidence follows. The more you practice, the less afraid you become. It's just like learning to swim. You can't learn swimming by watching others. You must step into the water. At first, it feels cold and scary, but slowly your body learns. You start floating, you start moving, and soon you forget your fear. English works in the same way. The more you practice, the more natural it feels. When you speak, your brain starts to build new connections. It remembers patterns. It becomes faster. Your tongue and mouth learn how to form words more easily. You start to think in English without even trying. But this happens only when you practice regularly, not once a week, every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Start small. You don't need to have long conversations on the first day. Just say one sentence out loud. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Describe what you are doing. Say, I'm drinking tea, I'm reading a book, I'm going to work. These small moments build your fluency. They build your confidence quietly. The more you speak, the more your brain understands that English is safe. It's not something to be afraid of. Some days you will feel lazy. Some days you won't have the energy. That's okay. Do a little anyway. Read a short paragraph. Repeat a few sentences. Listen to a short video and speak along. Even small practice counts. What matters is that you don't stop. Confidence grows with consistency, not perfection. The people who become fluent are not the ones who study the most, they are the ones who never stop showing up. You might think, but I don't have anyone to talk to. You don't need anyone. You can practice alone. You can record your voice. You can repeat after your favorite YouTuber. You can shadow English speakers. You can even talk to your phone. Every sound you make builds courage. Every word you say removes fear. The secret is to make English a daily habit, just like brushing your teeth. Think of each practice session as a small step on a mountain. Every step feels small, but one day when you look back, you'll see how high you've climbed. Confidence doesn't come in one big moment, it's built through small steps, repeated over and over again. Every mistake is a teacher, every effort adds strength. You don't fail when you make mistakes, you fail only when you stop trying. So, don't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. Speak, even if your voice shakes. Speak, even if your grammar is not perfect. Speak because every word you say is a victory against fear. Every sentence is proof that you are improving. You are not the same person you were yesterday. You are growing, even if it's slow. One day you will realize that the fear you once felt is gone. You'll open your mouth and English will flow naturally. You'll laugh at how nervous you used to be, and you'll feel proud. Not because your English is perfect, but because you didn't give up. That is real confidence. Keep practicing no matter what. Each word you say today is building the stronger, braver version of you tomorrow. Practice doesn't just improve your English, it changes who you are. It turns fear into power, hesitation into action, and silence into confidence. Chapter 4. Speak even if you're wrong. Many people stay silent because they are afraid of making mistakes. They think, what if I say something wrong? What if people laugh at me? What if they don't understand me? These thoughts are like invisible walls. They stop you from using the English you already know. But here is the truth. The only real mistake is not speaking at all. Every time you stay silent, you lose a chance to grow. Every time you speak, even if it's not perfect, you get better. The biggest myth in learning English is that you must be perfect before you speak. But perfection is not the goal. Communication is. English was never made to be perfect. It was made to connect people. Even native speakers make mistakes every day. They forget grammar rules. They use wrong words. They correct themselves. Nobody speaks perfectly all the time. So why should you expect perfection from yourself? If you wait to speak only when you are ready, you will wait forever. Because the feeling of being ready never comes. You learn to speak English by speaking it, not by waiting. You grow by trying, failing, and trying again. Every wrong sentence teaches you something right. Every small mistake carries a lesson inside it. When you understand that, you stop being afraid of being wrong. You start using mistakes as your teachers. Think about how you learned your first language. You didn't study grammar books as a child. You listened, copied, spoke, and made thousands of mistakes. Nobody laughed at you. People encouraged you. That's how you learned. The same process can work again if you allow it. Speak like a learner, not like a judge. Don't punish yourself for being imperfect. Praise yourself for being brave enough to try. Confidence is not built by staying silent, it's built by speaking again and again until your fear disappears. The more you speak, the faster you improve. When you make a mistake, don't stop. Smile and keep going. The listener will respect your courage. Most people care more about your message than your grammar. They want to understand what you're saying, not how perfectly you say it. Many learners stay quiet because they imagine people are judging them. But in reality, most people admire you. They see your effort. They see your courage to speak a language that is not your first. They see something powerful in you. The problem is not that others are judging you, the problem is that you are judging yourself. The day you stop doing that, your confidence will rise instantly. Start speaking English in real situations. Order food in English. Say hello to a foreigner. Ask a simple question online. Don't wait for the right moment. Create it. Every time you speak, your fear loses power. Every time you speak, your brain learns that nothing terrible happens when you make a mistake. You survive. You grow. You get better. If you make a grammar error, learn from it. If you forget a word, find it later. If someone corrects you, say thank you. That's how professionals learn too. The difference between confident and shy learners is simple. Confident learners use mistakes to move forward. Shy learners use them as a reason to stop. Which one will you be? Remember this forever. Nobody ever became fluent by staying quiet. Fluency is born from action, not perfection. You will never be perfect, and you don't need to be. You only need to be brave enough to speak. Mistakes don't define you. Your courage does. So today, speak. Even if your words come out wrong. Even if your sentences are not perfect, speak anyway. Because every time you do, your confidence grows stronger. You are not here to impress the world, you are here to express yourself. That's how real learning begins. That's how real confidence is born. Chapter 5. Talk to yourself, your secret practice. Most people think that confidence in English comes from speaking with others. But the truth is, it begins when you start speaking with yourself. Talking to yourself is one of the most powerful and secret ways to become confident in English. It sounds simple, but it works like magic. When you talk to yourself, you remove judgment, you remove fear, you remove pressure. You create a safe space where mistakes are not a problem. You become both the student and the teacher. When you talk to yourself, you don't need anyone's approval. You don't need to worry about grammar or accent. You can practice freely, anytime, anywhere. You can do it while walking, cooking, cleaning, or getting ready for work. You can describe what you are doing, what you are thinking, or how you are feeling. You can say things like, I am making tea, I am tired today, or I will practice English for 10 minutes. These small sentences may look simple, but they are building your fluency, one word at a time. Many people feel shy when they try to speak English. They think, I don't have anyone to practice with. But you don't need anyone. You already have the best partner in the world, yourself. When you talk to yourself, your brain gets used to forming English sentences naturally. You begin to think in English without translating. Your tongue becomes comfortable with English sounds, and slowly, your confidence grows. At first, it might feel strange. You might laugh at yourself. You might think it looks silly, but every strong speaker in the world has practiced alone. Actors rehearse alone. Speakers practice their words before standing on stage. Even singers train in empty rooms. Talking to yourself is your rehearsal for real-life conversations. It prepares your mind and your mouth to work together smoothly. Start with small steps. Stand in front of a mirror, look at yourself, and say one simple sentence in English. It could be, I am learning, or I am doing well. Then try to describe your day. Say what you did in the morning, what you plan to do next, or how you feel right now. Don't worry about mistakes, just keep speaking. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. The more you speak, the more confident you become. You can also record your voice. When you listen to it later, you'll notice how much better you sound over time. You'll hear your pronunciation improving. You'll see how your sentences start to flow. This practice not only improves your English, but it also builds belief in yourself. You will realize that you already have the ability to speak. You just needed to practice without fear. Talking to yourself is like building a friendship with your own mind. You start to trust yourself. You start to enjoy the process of learning. You stop judging your mistakes. You begin to speak with a smile. And when you finally speak with others, your voice carries that confidence. People will notice it. They will feel the strength in your tone. That's the power of silent, personal practice. Many successful learners began their journey this way. They didn't wait for a teacher or a partner. They practiced every day, even for a few minutes. They talked to mirrors, walls, and sometimes even to objects around them. And one day, they realized that speaking English felt natural. They didn't have to think anymore. They just spoke. You can reach that point too. You just have to start. Talk to yourself in English every single day. Morning or night, short or long, doesn't matter. What matters is consistency. Speak to yourself with kindness. Speak with honesty. Speak with courage. Because when you talk to yourself, you are not just practicing English. You are training your confidence. You are telling your brain, I can speak. I can express myself. I am improving. And one day, you'll realize that the person who once felt shy is now speaking with confidence and pride. That's the power of talking to yourself. It's your secret, your practice, and your path to real fluency. Chapter 6. Listen like a confident person. Confidence in English is not only about speaking. It also comes from how you listen. Listening is where real fluency begins. Before every strong voice, there was a good ear. If you listen with focus, your brain starts learning sounds, words, and patterns naturally. The more you listen, the more comfortable you become with the rhythm of English. And when your ears understand the language, your tongue automatically follows. Listening builds confidence quietly, like a seed growing under the ground, before anyone sees the tree. Many people only focus on speaking, but they forget that listening is half the skill. The truth is, confident speakers are confident listeners first. When you listen to English every day, something beautiful happens inside your mind. You begin to understand how native speakers pause, how they stress certain words, how they connect sounds together. Your brain slowly learns what sounds right and what doesn't. You start to feel the language, not just study it. That feeling is what makes you speak more naturally and confidently later. Listening also removes fear. When you listen regularly, English stops sounding like noise. You stop panicking when someone talks fast. You begin to catch familiar words. You start to understand meaning, even when you don't know every word. This gives you a calm kind of confidence. You no longer fear English conversations, you begin to enjoy them. Start with things that interest you. If you love music, listen to English songs and follow the lyrics. If you like movies, watch them with English subtitles. If you enjoy learning, listen to short podcasts or YouTube videos in English. The goal is not to understand everything. The goal is to stay connected with the language every single day. When you listen daily, English becomes part of your life. It becomes a friend, not a stranger. At first, you may not understand much. That's normal. Don't give up. Even when you don't understand every word, your brain is still learning. It's training your ears to recognize sounds, it's helping you understand rhythm, emotion, and tone. One day, you'll suddenly notice that you can follow a full conversation. That moment will feel magical. You'll realize that all those hours of listening were working quietly behind the scenes. Confidence grows when you start to trust your ears. The more you listen, the more you realize that you already know a lot. Sometimes, you'll even start finishing other people's sentences in your mind. That's when you know your brain is becoming fluent. Listening is like charging your inner battery. It fills you with the energy you need to speak. There's another powerful benefit of listening. It helps you speak with the right emotion. You begin to hear how confident people use their voice. You hear their tone, their rhythm, their power. You can copy that energy. You can train your voice to sound clear and confident too. Listening is your first shadowing lesson. It teaches you not just words, but attitude. Make listening a part of your daily routine. Listen while walking, driving, cooking, or relaxing before bed. Even 15 minutes a day can change your confidence in a few weeks. Every sound you hear is like a drop of water shaping a stone. Slowly, gently, it changes your brain forever. And remember, don't just listen to understand. Listen to feel. Feel the courage in the speaker's voice. Feel the meaning behind the words. Feel the rhythm and flow of sentences. Let English enter your heart, not just your mind. When you connect emotionally with what you hear, learning becomes effortless. The more you listen, the more you start believing in your own voice. You realize that English is not a wall separating you from the world, it's a bridge. Listening builds that bridge one sound at a time. It prepares you for the moment you speak, and when that moment comes, your voice will sound confident and natural. So listen daily. Listen with curiosity. Listen with love for learning. Because every time you listen, you are building the foundation of your confidence. One day soon, you'll speak English with calmness, clarity, and courage. And when you do, you'll know that it all started with listening like a confident person. Chapter 7. Small wins every day. Confidence in English is not built in one big moment. It's built in small daily victories. Every time you say one sentence, that's a win. Every time you understand a new word, that's a win. Every time you listen to a video and understand even a little more than yesterday, that's another win. These small moments may look simple, but they are powerful. They build your belief slowly, quietly, one layer at a time. Many learners lose confidence because they expect fast results. They want to be fluent in 1 month. They want to speak like a native overnight. And when that doesn't happen, they feel disappointed. But learning English is like growing a plant. You water it every day, and you wait. You don't pull the leaves to make them grow faster. You trust the process. You celebrate every small leaf that appears. Confidence grows in the same way. When you start focusing on small wins, something amazing happens. You stop feeling pressure, you stop comparing yourself to others, you begin to enjoy the process of learning. You start to feel proud of every step, no matter how small it looks. You begin to say, I spoke better today than yesterday. I remembered 5 new words. I didn't freeze when someone spoke English to me. These small sentences show big progress. Each small win is proof that you are improving. You don't need to see all your success at once. Just like you can't see your hair growing every day, but it grows. Your English is improving even when you don't notice it. Every moment you read, listen, speak, or write in English, your brain is learning. You are changing from the inside. Start tracking your small wins. Write them down in a notebook. At the end of each day, write one thing you did in English. Maybe you watched a short video, read a paragraph, or learned one phrase. When you look back after a week or a month, you'll see a list full of progress. You'll realize that you've done much more than you thought. That simple list will remind you that you are moving forward. Small wins also give you motivation. When you celebrate them, your brain feels rewarded. It gives you energy to continue. This is how habits are built. You do a small thing, you feel proud, you do it again. Slowly, learning English becomes part of your life, not just something you study. There will be days when you feel tired, days when progress seems slow. But remember, even showing up is a victory. Even practicing for 5 minutes is a win. You don't have to be perfect every day, you just have to keep moving. Confidence grows in those moments when you choose not to quit. Think about professional athletes. They don't become champions in one day. They train every morning. They improve by 1% every time. After months of practice, those small efforts turn into big results. You can use the same secret for your English. Improve 1% every day. One word, one sentence, one conversation. That's all it takes. When you focus on small wins, you stop fearing failure. You start seeing every mistake as a part of your journey. You realize that you are already successful because you are doing what most people never do. You are trying. You are learning. You are improving. Confidence is not something that suddenly appears. It's something you build, step by step, through action. Every small win becomes a brick in your wall of belief. And one day, you'll stand tall, proud of how far you've come. You'll look back and realize that all those tiny moments built something powerful inside you. So keep going. Don't wait for big victories. Celebrate the small ones. They are the real secret to success. Because one day, all your small wins will come together and you'll realize you have already become confident in English. It all started with one small step that you decided to take today. Chapter 8. Stop comparing yourself to others. One of the biggest reasons learners lose confidence is because they keep comparing themselves to others. They look at someone who speaks better and they feel small. They listen to someone with a perfect accent and they feel weak. They see someone learning faster and they think, why not me? This habit slowly destroys your motivation. It makes you blind to your own progress. It makes you forget how far you've already come. You must remember that everyone has a different journey. No two learners are the same. Some people live in English-speaking countries, some have more time to practice. Some started years before you. Comparing yourself to them is unfair. It's like comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. You're not behind. You're just on your own path. The only person you need to compete with is the person you were yesterday. When you compare yourself to others, you focus on what you don't have instead of what you do. You stop seeing your strengths. You forget your own victories. Maybe your pronunciation is not perfect, but your grammar is improving. Maybe you don't know every word, but you understand more than before. Maybe you still feel nervous, but you're trying every single day. That is progress. That is success. Everyone who speaks fluently now once struggled like you. They also forgot words, they also felt shy, they also doubted themselves. The difference is that they didn't give up. They focused on their own improvement. They looked at how much better they were getting each week. You can do the same. Instead of comparing your weakness to someone else's strength, compare your today to your yesterday. That's how confidence grows. Comparison steals joy. It fills your heart with fear and frustration. When you focus on others, you lose energy for yourself. But when you focus on your own journey, you feel powerful again. You start noticing small wins, you start feeling proud of little things, you begin to see your English growing. Slowly but surely. You realize that your pace doesn't matter. What matters is that you are still walking. Think about it. When you climb a mountain, you don't stare at other climbers. You look at your own steps. You take one after another. You stop to rest, but you don't quit. And one day, you reach the top. Learning English is the same. If you keep watching others, you'll lose balance. But if you keep walking your own path, you'll rise higher than you ever imagined. You don't need to sound like anyone else. You don't need to copy someone's accent or style. Your English is your voice. It's your personality in another language. That's what makes it beautiful. People will remember your confidence, not your accent. They will feel your message, not your mistakes. Be proud of the English that belongs to you. Start appreciating your growth. When you understand a sentence today that confused you last month, celebrate it. When you talk to someone in English, even for 1 minute, feel proud. When you read a page without using a dictionary, smile. These moments matter. They show that you are growing. The truth is, confidence dies in comparison, but is born in gratitude. When you start feeling thankful for what you've already learned, your heart becomes lighter. You stop judging yourself. You start enjoying English again. And when learning feels good, improvement becomes faster. So stop comparing. Look in the mirror and say, I'm better than I was before. Say it every day until you believe it. Because it's true. You're learning. You're improving. You're becoming confident, one step at a time. Remember, English is not a race. There's no finish line. There's only growth. And every learner is walking their own road. So keep walking yours. You're not late. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. Focus on your journey, and soon you'll realize that the only person you ever needed to compete with was yourself. That's when real confidence begins to shine. Chapter 9. Surround yourself with English. Confidence grows faster when English becomes part of your daily life. You cannot build confidence by studying English once a week. You must live with it. You must see it, hear it, and feel it around you. When English becomes your environment, your brain starts to think in it naturally. You stop forcing yourself to learn. You start breathing it. That's when real fluency and confidence begin to grow. Imagine this. You wake up and your phone is in English. You see English words on your apps. You listen to English music while brushing your teeth. You read one motivational quote in English before breakfast. You watch a short English video during lunch. You write a few lines about your day before sleeping. These little moments fill your day with the language. You are not studying anymore. You are living English. Many learners make the mistake of separating English from their life. They study it like a school subject. They open a book, memorize some words, and then forget about it. That's why they feel stuck. Confidence doesn't come from short study sessions. It comes from daily connection. The more English you bring into your world, the more natural it feels. It becomes part of your routine, just like eating or walking. You don't need to live in an English-speaking country to surround yourself with English. You can create that environment wherever you are. Start with your phone. Change it to English. It might feel strange in the beginning, but it teaches you new words automatically. Every time you check your settings or notifications, you're learning. Use English on social media. Follow English pages, YouTubers, and podcasts that inspire you. Fill your online world with English positivity. Music is another amazing tool. Listen to English songs and read the lyrics. Try to sing along. Feel the rhythm and emotion. You will not only learn pronunciation, but also feel confident expressing yourself. Movies and series can help too. Watch them with English subtitles. You'll see how words are used in real life. You'll hear natural sentences, tone, and emotion. These moments will train your ears and your heart together. Talking to yourself also becomes easier when you hear English all around you. Your brain stays active. You start using English words without translating. You begin to think faster. You stop doubting your pronunciation. This comfort creates natural confidence. Create small English zones in your life. Label objects in your room with their English names. Stick a paper that says mirror on your mirror. Write door on your door. These small things keep your brain connected to the language all day. When you see English everywhere, you feel surrounded by it. And when you are surrounded by something, you stop fearing it. Join online groups or communities where people are learning English too. Share your progress. Read comments. Ask questions. Encourage others. This builds your social confidence. You'll realize you are not alone. Everyone is learning. Everyone is improving. This sense of connection removes fear and adds motivation. Remember, the more English you bring into your daily life, the more confident you become. Confidence doesn't grow in silence. It grows in repetition. It grows in familiarity. When your brain hears English every day, it stops seeing it as something foreign. It becomes your friend. You don't have to make big changes all at once. Start small. Replace one song, one show, one note in your day with English. Bit by bit, it will fill your world. And one day, you'll wake up and realize you didn't study English anymore. You simply lived it. You understood it. You spoke it. Confidence is not built in a classroom. It's built in daily life. It's built when you make English part of your mornings, your nights, your habits, your world. So surround yourself with English completely. Let it be your background sound, your silent teacher, your everyday companion. Because the more English you live with, the more confident you will become. Chapter 10. Learn from your mistakes. Don't fear them. Every mistake you make in English is a hidden lesson. Every wrong word, every awkward pause, every small confusion is teaching you something valuable. But most learners don't see it that way. They see mistakes as failures. They feel embarrassed. They stop trying. And that's why their confidence never grows. The truth is, mistakes are not the problem. Fear of mistakes is. You can never become confident if you keep running away from your errors. Confidence doesn't mean speaking perfectly. It means speaking even when you know you might be wrong. Every confident speaker you admire has made thousands of mistakes. They just stopped being afraid of them. They learned to turn every mistake into a teacher. Think about how you learned to walk. You fell again and again. You stumbled. You cried. But you didn't quit. You stood up and tried again until your legs became strong. Learning English works the same way. You fall through mistakes. You rise through learning. Every error is a step forward if you pay attention to it. When you make a mistake, don't panic. Don't think, I'm bad at English. Instead, think, I just learned something new. Each time you notice a mistake, you have a chance to fix it. That's progress. The people who never make mistakes are the ones who never try. But you are different. You're learning, you're growing, you're brave enough to try. Start writing down your mistakes. When you speak and someone corrects you, don't feel ashamed. Feel thankful. That correction is a gift. It's a key that opens a new door in your English journey. Write it down and practice the right version later. Slowly, your brain will remember it. You'll notice yourself improving without fear. Many learners feel scared because they think people will laugh at them. But remember, everyone has been a beginner once. Even native speakers make mistakes in their own language. Nobody is perfect. And most people admire your courage more than your correctness. They see your effort, not your errors. You're doing something extraordinary, learning to speak a language that's not your own. That's something to be proud of. Mistakes also make learning interesting. They show you what to focus on next. They guide you. If you forget a word, that means it needs more practice. If you mispronounce something, it means your tongue is still learning a new sound. Each mistake gives direction. Without mistakes, you would never know what to improve. So instead of fearing them, use them. Confidence grows when you stop hiding from your weaknesses. When you face them with courage, they turn into your strengths. The more mistakes you make, the faster you learn. Because every wrong step is helping you find the right path. Mistakes are not a wall blocking your success. They are stairs helping you climb higher. Next time you speak and say something wrong, don't stop. Keep going. Smile. Correct yourself if you can, and continue. That's what confident people do. They don't run from mistakes, they grow through them. You'll notice that people respect you more when you handle errors calmly. They'll see your maturity. They'll see your courage. Learning English is not about avoiding mistakes. It's about learning from them until they no longer scare you. When fear disappears, confidence takes its place. Every time you make a mistake and still keep going, you build a layer of strength inside you. One day, you'll look back and realize that the moments you were most afraid of were actually the moments that made you the strongest. So don't try to be perfect. Try to be fearless. Make mistakes proudly. Learn from them with curiosity. Every error is proof that you're trying. Every attempt is proof that you're growing. That's what makes you a real learner. And that's how you'll become confident not only in English, but in yourself. Chapter 11. Believe in your progress. One of the biggest mistakes English learners make is forgetting how far they have already come. They focus so much on what they don't know that they forget what they already know. They look at the long road ahead and feel small, not realizing they have already traveled a great distance. The truth is, confidence begins the moment you start recognizing your progress. You might think you are still not good enough. You might still feel nervous when you speak. But stop for a moment and remember where you started. There was a time when you didn't even know how to say hello or how are you. There was a time when English felt impossible. And now you understand words. You make sentences. You can listen, read, and speak more than before. That is progress. That is growth. Learning English is not a race. It's a journey, and every step matters. The small wins, the simple conversations, the short sentences you spoke with courage, all of them are proof that you are improving. You may not see it every day, but it's there. Just like you don't see your hair growing, yet it does. Progress in English happens quietly. It happens when you stay consistent, even on days when you don't feel confident. Sometimes your brain tricks you. It tells you that you are stuck, that you're not moving forward. But that's not true. Every time you practice, your brain is learning. Every time you listen, read, or repeat, your mind is building new connections. You might not feel it immediately, but one day, suddenly, everything will click. You'll understand something that used to confuse you. You'll speak without translating. You'll realize that you are no longer the same learner. Believing in your progress is what keeps your motivation alive. When you believe you are growing, you study with excitement. You practice with passion. You stop comparing yourself to others because you know your path is your own. You understand that every mistake, every slow step, every moment of effort is adding up to something big. That belief turns fear into fuel. Try this simple habit. At the end of each week, write down 3 things you did in English. Maybe you learned a new word. Maybe you watched a video and understood it better. Maybe you spoke to someone in English. No matter how small, write it down. When you look back after a few weeks, you'll be amazed at how much progress you've made. Those small victories are the foundation of your confidence. There will be days when you feel tired. You might feel like giving up. You might think, I'm not improving. But remind yourself that learning is not a straight line. Some days are hard. Some days are easy. Some days you move fast, and some days you move slowly. But every day counts. Even when you feel stuck, your brain is still learning. Your effort is never wasted. Confidence grows when you believe that what you're doing matters. The moment you start trusting your progress, your energy changes. You stop doubting yourself. You start enjoying English again. You speak more freely. You take more risks. And slowly, that belief becomes part of your identity. You stop saying, I'm trying to learn English. You start saying, I am learning English. You are not at the beginning anymore. You are already on the road to fluency. Every mistake you've made, every lesson you've learned, every word you've spoken is building your foundation. You are not failing. You are becoming. So, believe in yourself. Believe in your progress, even if it's slow. Keep reminding yourself that every day of practice is moving you forward. You're already much better than you were yesterday, and tomorrow you'll be even better. Confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you grow through belief. Look at how far you've come and smile. You've earned this progress. You're not just learning English. You're proving to yourself that you can achieve anything with consistency, faith, and courage. Keep going. Your confidence is already growing inside you. You just have to believe it. Chapter 12. Confidence is a habit, not a gift. Many people believe that confidence is something you are born with. They think some people are just naturally confident, while others are not. But that is not true. Confidence is not a gift. It is not magic, it is a habit. It is something you build every single day through your actions, your thoughts, and your choices. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. Confidence grows the same way muscles grow. If you train them every day, they get stronger. If you stop using them, they become weak. Speaking English works exactly like this. Every time you speak, listen, or think in English, you are training your confidence muscle. Every time you stay silent because of fear, that muscle weakens a little. But the good news is, you can start training it anytime. You don't need to wait. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Think about brushing your teeth. You do it every morning without thinking. You don't ask yourself, should I do it today? It has become a habit. You do it automatically because it's part of your life. Confidence in English can become just like that. When you practice a little every day, it stops feeling scary. It becomes natural. You no longer need to push yourself. It becomes part of who you are. Small habits build big confidence. Reading a short English story, watching one video, saying one sentence to yourself, writing a small paragraph about your day, listening to an English podcast while walking. These actions might look small, but they are powerful. They keep your connection with English alive. They make your brain comfortable with the language, and slowly, they turn fear into familiarity. Many learners wait for motivation to come first, but motivation doesn't stay forever. Some days you will feel inspired. Some days you won't. That's normal. What will keep you moving is not motivation, it's habit. Habits are stronger than feelings. You might not feel confident today, but if you keep practicing daily, confidence will appear naturally. At first, it feels difficult. You might struggle to stay consistent. You might forget or feel tired. But remember this: even 1 minute of practice matters. Even one small effort adds up. The key is not perfection. The key is repetition. Do it again and again until English becomes part of your life. That is how confident speakers are made. Confidence is built in quiet moments. It's built when no one is watching. It's built when you practice alone, when you make mistakes, when you try again after failure. Every time you keep going, you teach your brain one important lesson: I can do this. That message becomes stronger each day until one day you truly believe it. You might look at others and think they were born confident. But what you don't see are the hours they spend practicing. You don't see their mistakes, their fears, or their failures. They didn't wait to feel ready. They created confidence through habit. You can do the same. So from today, start treating confidence like a skill you can train. Speak a little every day, listen a little every day, read a little every day. Make English your daily habit even for 10 minutes. These moments will slowly change you. You will start noticing that speaking feels easier, listening feels clearer, and thinking in English feels natural. One day, without even realizing it, you will wake up and notice that you no longer feel afraid to speak. You'll smile and remember how far you've come. You'll understand that confidence didn't come to you suddenly. You built it, piece by piece, through daily effort. Confidence is not something that arrives at your door. It's something you create through practice, patience, and persistence. So keep going, keep speaking, keep believing. Make confidence your daily habit, and it will stay with you for the rest of your life. If you believe you can build confidence in English, start today. Speak one sentence, listen to one video. Believe in yourself once more. And if this video helped you, like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Unleash your English for more lessons that change fear into fluency. Leave a comment below. What's one English moment that made you feel confident today? Let's grow together, one brave word at a time.